Hey everyone, it's me. I'm just being me today. Got a new tank for my vape. Um, um, right now I'm watching TV. You can tell I got Daisy right there. Yes, that's Daisy. Um, it's just like people. Um, like let's say right now mom's not feeling good, dad's not feeling good. They're coming out Monday. Let's just say we're trying to get things ready and stuff for the home visit for me. Um, let's see how many likes I can get for this video, how many likes other videos. Um, let's see, when people are trying to help out with other people, I want to thank my sister Nicole, posting my other video on Facebook for people to see them. Um, they try to help out. But yeah, it's like my life is difficult. Okay, being on hemo, it wears you out. Okay, um, but on PD, it gives you advantage. Okay, you can travel with it and all that. If you move, there's a home training place up there where you move to. Um, when I was younger, all right, let me tell you guys a story. All right, when I was born, from with my life story. Okay, when I was growing up, when I was born. When okay, when my birth mom gave birth to me. All right, her name is Barbara Williams at the time, and my dad, Michael Floyd DeGallis. Let's just say he's a bad. I didn't like him at all. Right now, I don't. Well, what happened was when I was born, 25 years ago, they. I know I look tired, but I'm not. It's let's just say my life was complicated when I was growing up. My when I was born, the doctors told my parents, both my parents, that I was born with kidney failure. All right, and also what happened was 2 days ago. Like about 2 to 3 days when I was 2 to 3 days old, they put a PD catheter in me. Okay, and the family that I'm adopted into right now, I that I'm in. That's why you see my last name Coleman on the YouTube channel, is because that was the family that adopted me. All right, when I was about 2, going on 3 in August. My birthday is August 4th. Okay. Um, what happened was the state called them. All right, the DCF called them and told them that there's a sick child in the hospital right now, looking for a place to live. But he's 2 months. He's real young. He doesn't have he was going with kidney failure, clubfoot, and all that. Well, I was on PD when they got me, and I was pigeon toed when I was also born. Well, they didn't want to wait until I was 16, 17, when I was old enough to get foot surgery because they said I won't be able to walk. Well, they did the foot surgery when I was 8 months old. Okay, and then 2 years after, a year later, I I still had the PD, and then when I was 2 years old and going on 3, January 31st, 1997 is when I had my first transplant. What happened was, after I got it, before I got it, they checked to see if I had any infection or anything. They do that every time before you do get a major surgery. Well, what happened was they didn't find anything. Okay, but when they put it in, cancer was growing. Okay, they didn't know it was growing inside me until 5 months after I had the surgery, and I was choking on the on the cancer part, but they didn't know what it was until I was choking on it, and my adopted parents didn't know what it was. They thought I was choking on a piece of bread, so they took me in so they could take it out. Well, when the doctors looked at it and all that, they said, well, he has throat cancer and it was just in his tonsils. So when that happened, they rolled me into the OR, the operating room, to take it out. That's why you see a scar right there. Well, when they took it out, they said we gotta have to give him the chemo and radiation so they could kill the cancer cells that was left over to make sure I don't get cancer anymore. Well, when they did that, they didn't know it killed the first transplant. So I lost my transplant in 5 months. So they put me back on hemo. I was on hemo at the time. Now, let me tell, like I was saying earlier in the last video, the hemo will drain your energy out. Well, a couple months later, like a month or two later, I was still on hemo and on PD. Well, where they had it at was in my thigh. Okay, they hooked me up and all that, but what happened was I had a stroke, and also I was in kidney failure again at the age of 4. But what happened was, when they called mom up, they said, "Oh, can you bring him in at 7:30?" Well, we got up there, okay. When they said 7:30, we got there on time. But what happened was they didn't even hook me up until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All right. During that time, that whole period of time, they should have hooked me up and all that. Well, they did at the last minute, and then all of a sudden, I was it. By the way that they waited, they put way too much. They took way too much fluid out, and it just gave me gave me a stroke. right there on the machine, and they stopped the machine, and I was paralyzed about 30 minutes. Well, when I got the strength back in my legs and all that, they said, "All right, that's it. We're gonna take him off the hemo because it gave him that, and keep him on PD." So I was on PD for 6.5 years until I got my second one at the age of 9. The funny story was, when I was on PD for 6.5 years, when they gave me my second transplant, all right, I was in school on the 7th of January. All right, they called mom when I was in school. Mom was at home, thank God. And when that happened, they, let's just say, she called the school. Okay, she called the school nurse. Okay, the school nurse and my mom were good friends. Um, it, I was in school. That she called, like I was saying, they were good friends. She called her, and she called my teacher, and she told me to pack up. She pulled me aside, told me she told me in my ear to pack up. You're getting checked out, and you're going home. Okay. When I got the news from my teacher to go straight to the nurse's office, and she'll tell me more. Well, when I got to the nurse's station at the school, this is what she told me: was your mom's coming to get you, to take you to the hospital, because she told me to tell you that they found a perfect match. Okay. I waited from 10 o'clock in the morning all the way to midnight. Okay. I went from my room, okay, on the fourth floor of Shands, to the OR on the second floor. When I got there, let's just say it took 6 hours to put it in. They had to put an IV in my neck. They had to put a donut in on my side. They had to put a Foley catheter in me, and all that. Okay. When that happened, I was in. After all that happened, they put me in ICU to recuperate. Well, they gave me a kidney pillow and a new pill box and new medicines to give me. I was on those medicine for 15 years. They took me off this year. Well, during the period of time, for about until I was 16 years old, I was about 13 when it was about 10 was a year, 11 was when 2 years, 12 was 3 years, 4 years I had it for when I was 13, and that's when my nephew was born. 5 years when I was 14. 6 years when I was 15. 7 years when I was 16. Well, before I had it for for 7 years. Well, when I turned 16, I was before I turned 16, I had my first UTI. Okay, they didn't keep me because it was not a major UTI. Okay, so what happened was they gave me antibiotics for it, and then that went away. Well, I went on the trip for my 16th birthday to, let's say, to New York. Well, what happened was when that happened, I was in school. I was my 9th grade year when I was 16. When that happened, well, September 23rd of 2010. I know it's hard for me to explain this, but September 23rd of 2010 is when I had the sepsis. Okay? I didn't want to let mom know that I had it. Well, I did, but when that happened, I just tried to wake mom up. It was at 11 o'clock at night. Okay? But what happened was I tried to use the bathroom. Well, I tried to stand up, but I couldn't. Okay? I just fell right back on the bed because I couldn't stand. So I tried it again. Couldn't. So what happened was I just slid off my bed and crawled to the bathroom. Then I was like, you know what? I'm kind of thirsty. Well, after I used the bathroom, of course. Well, I got off the toilet and then crawled to the bathroom. Well, from the bathroom to the kitchen to get something to drink, something cold. Okay? I got the water from the refrigerator. That should have woke mom up, but it didn't. Then I had to take a shit to the bathroom again. Well, what happened was that's when, well, I threw up, but I had a Lego bucket. Then I had a bath toys at the time. I know I was 16. I was still taking a bath. So what? Well, I couldn't hold it in much longer. So I tried to stand. I fell, and I dumped the vomit all over me. Well, what happened was that's when I woke. That's when mom woke up. Okay. From that, she came in the bathroom. Said, "Why are you laying in your own vomit and shit?" Okay. And then she's like, "Take a shower." I said, "Mom, I can't stand up. Can I sit and take a bath?" She's like, "Yeah, go ahead." Right when I plugged the plug in, she's like, "What are you doing?" I asked you if I can take a bath. She's like, "No, take a shower." I was like I said, I can't can't stand. Well, you can sit and take a shower, right? Yeah. Then take one. I was like, all right. Unplugged the plug and took a shower that way. When that happened, and then I went back to bed. Well, mom didn't know that I would have got worse when I went. And she should have took me to the hospital right there and then. Nah. She waited until 6 o'clock in the morning to ask me, "Do you feel okay to go to school?" I was like, "No." So that's when she took me to the hospital and told me that I had the sepsis and they gave me 5% to live. And I was in a coma for 8 days, hospitalized for 22 days. I was home. I was about. I was stayed home for about since October to November 1st. Well, after that, everything was back to normal, but I was doing the routine and all that. Then until I moved in with my dad, been getting UTIs every 3 months, and it was difficult for me to be like that. And and that was my biggest health problem that I had. I was about to almost lost my transplant at age 16. But during those years, I've been getting UTIs and almost lost my transplant on the 10th anniversary. Okay, I was 19. It started acting up on the 8th of on its anniversary. Okay, of the transplant day, January 8th of 2014 is when I almost lost my transplant. But luckily, I called Dad at work and told him to come take me to Shands because I've been having pain on my left side. I was in there for about 7 days. Went home. A couple days later, went back in. Same problem on the right side. Did that again, back and forth. On the fourth or fifth time, I went back in the hospital because of the pain. They did the surgery and they took out the first transplant that was affecting the second one because it was infected with some kind of disease that they did not understand what it was, but it was infecting and it was killing the second one. That's when we saved the transplant from taking the first one out. Well, what happened was when they did that, they let they forgot to sew the spot up where the transplant was, and then 2 years later, after I got home, I was homeless and all that because of my health, and I lived with the family I'm living with now. Well, I moved from here to New Smyrna. Well, they let's just say they almost made me lose my disability because they didn't take me to my doctor's appointments like they told my second family that they would. Um, they made me get off the list because of that. But on 2018, I had enough. All right, I had enough. I know I shouldn't put my hands on on my girlfriend, but now she's my ex. I slapped her. Okay. And I just left and I went to the hospital and that's when they transferred me up to Shands. And that's when I came back in 2018 and let's just say went back on the schedule and all that. And then this year I lost my transplant. Okay. And it's not fun losing a transplant. But I'm just going to show you what I got. Alright. The scars and all that. But what happened was when I lost it, I was in a hospital because I had a simple UTI. Alright. But when that happened, I was on hemodialysis for since March of this year to October of 2 weeks ago. Okay, they took it out. But what happened was they took the hemo out and they gave me a false statement last Friday. Not the past Friday, not like the first. It was before Halloween. Alright, a week before Halloween. But they said that and on the 1st of October, this is what I got. Is the PD catheter. But the problem was, when I got it, I just wanted to stop going to hemo. Well, I went once a week because of it.
I was wrong and you were right. I'll even repeat it if you want me to. I can't do this on my own. I need you. I need your help. I'm not excited to do it. I'm sure it hurts to stop. Didn't seriously what is with all this talking? You don't know who I am. Sorry.
Well, what happened was,
I know you. You work at the resort.
The other day at the pool, you guys were asking about reversing that spell. Who are you guys?
Hey, Dad. Dad? You didn't tell me you were married.
What?
Would somebody please explain to me what's going on? No. This is ridiculous. Would you
Well,
listen to yourselves?
I went once a week. I went like 1 week, and then Monday I didn't go because I wasn't feeling good. And then Tuesday I got sick, went in, and that's when they decided, all right, we're going to take it out because it could be because this site right here looks infected and all that. They took it out. They did a biopsy on it, on the catheter, to see if there was any infection in the heart. Well, when that happened,
And now?
Tell me that you're not falling for me. And then we'll notice it.
I can't tell you that. Look, kids don't kids. I don't have time to be squeamish over this. We have to do something.
He's right. Look, how did you do the spell in the first place?
I did it. But I didn't mean to, I swear. Maybe at first I meant it a little bit, then after. I used your wand.
This one?
Can't you do something?
No. I'm sorry.
like I was saying before I got distracted, yes, I got tattoos. I love tattoos. Well, what?
Oh, the wizard competition is years away. People, 5 minutes.
It doesn't have to be years away.
I just
I'm not ready.
wish I had another transplant, because right now it's like I'm really lost, but I'm trying to get my health back to normal, but it's hard. Working on my blood work, getting my blood work normal and all that, it's hard.
You have the wrong woman. I would not forget my own kid. I gotta go. Mom! So, is that lady your mom? Next, don't you remember who that is? Shut up.
We've got to do this now. Everybody grab the wand.
I do remember you.
Stay focused. It's the only way to get him back. It's only a matter of minutes before John catches up with you.
I just wish all the stuff that I did for 15 years. I wish my life was back to normal. But right now I'm working on getting it back to normal.
Never forget.
The
characters that become friends.
My life just went down the drain when I moved. I was happy. I would have had my transplant longer. But no, my ex had to kill it. wish everything was back to normal. I know I'm doing this longer, but it's what it is. With I was born with kidney problems when I was little. So what? There's a lot of people out there that has the same problem as me and my sister Nicole. And my friend my friend Calvin, he's like a brother to me. All those people that I met in the hospital, they're like family. The nurses like family to me. All the people I meet, they're like family to me. Because they believe in me. All people that don't believe me, ask them. They will tell you I'm a strong person. Look at my sister Nicole. She had hers for 21, 22 years old. 22 years. Well, actually 21 years. I would have had my first transplant if I didn't have cancer for 23 years. I would have had it for longer.
You are totally awesome just being you.
But I didn't.
Cool maker goes lamb nails.
Because God has something else for me to do. People need to understand that there's a God out there, that He's trying His best to prevent people from dying when it's not their time. People are out there doing stupid shit. They need to understand what's going on, okay? I go back to training after the home visit, okay? But right now, Mom needs to get everything situated right now. She's doing this because of my health, alright? Not because of my health, but everywhere else, okay? I just wish... I just wish people I'm the same with, they're good to me, alright? I help them out. But people need to understand that when I try to find someone, okay, it's hard for me to understand. It's like, alright, they're good people, alright? I know I did stupid shit back in 2014, alright? That's one chart. I did one stupid, I went to jail for it, okay? I learned my lesson. But what God has planned for me in the future, they will understand that they will.
It'll be too late. We'll try our hardest.
I just pray to people that wish people will help. But it's hard for people like us. Alright? I'm living on disability. I make $880. So what? I pay a couple of bills and that's it. Alright?
Earth, air, fire, and water. What? Nobody said anything about that. Did you know that? I've been studying battle spells for the past 10 years of my life. You know how many spells I memorized? The best wizards can do the most with the least.
Good. That's pretty much all I got.
People need to understand. I know I'm repeating myself, alright? People need to... let's just say I'm working my best to get back on that list. Once I get back on the list, I'm going to have to find a donor, a live donor. Whoever's out there that's my match and A positive, I'll be happy. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You guys are the best. Thanks for understanding what I'm going through.